Okay, so I made a huge mistake today at Newberry. Um, there was one book that I got, and I was happy about it at first. It was a good price, it was list price, and even at list price, it was a good deal for what I get. It's basically like if it was Marvel, it would have been $10 more expensive, maybe even $15 more expensive. And also, it's like even though the video game had come out first, and I don't usually like getting those. Unlike Injustice, it seems to take place. It just only takes place in the world, and it only involves those characters. If anything, it could have been based off the books. Um, I'm not going to show you what the book is, or even say what it's called. I'm actually, you know what? We'll play a game. Try and guess what the book is I'm talking about. Um, but the biggest reason for why I'm going to be returning it, and probably the only reason, because again, like I said, the whole video game, oh, it's based off video game came first, isn't it a big deal? Because number one, I got the Mario ones, and number two, like I said before, it's not just a carbon copy of the video game, like how Injustice seems to be. I said seems to be, and at first, it seems like they just carbon copy the video game. And if you play the video game, watch the cutscenes, congratulations, you've read the comic book. Maybe even the first arc. I don't know, but the biggest reason is that it's on Interloans at the library. And that's the thing I forgot to mention. It's at two of them. None of them are Rogers, the one I usually go to in my regular library. But the one that is one of the ones was Exeter, and I was like, might not have that. I'll look at them. And I looked at all the books I currently have, and I didn't see Exeter on any of them. But then another one is Wadley. And I think I'm saying that place right. But the Wadley one, I was like, okay, yeah, I have gotten ones from Wadley before. I remember because one of them, I think it was Dark Phoenix, the X-Men one I got way back when, the movie, not the comic. The one I got way back when, I was like, Wadley, that's a weird library. I actually got one this week. It's called Title? Title? Not Title. I said titty. Not by accident. It was a pun I made myself. It was TT? I don't know. It was like TETE? Title? I don't know. But yeah, it's at the local library, so I can save $25 and I'll get another book instead. There's 1,000 of them that I could, no, two of them I could get, and one of them, they each have a downside to them. So I'm like, which one should I get? Which one am I gonna be more happy with? One of them is so annoying because it's not a Marvel or DC book, so it has no excuse to call itself a Volume 1, but not be the first volume of that series. It's an indie publisher. Like, you would think that their Volume 1 would be their Volume 1s. The ones before I think the best reviews, so I'm thinking maybe get that one. And the other one is one that's way later in Judd Winnick's run of Green Arrow. It's a Green Arrow Black Canary one. I don't think I'm gonna get that one. It's pretty expensive and it's way later in his run. And it's $34.99. I'm like, I might get that one instead. I don't know. But without further ado, let's get into it. First one up is issue 2. Oh, and also, clearly this is not me. I did not just get out of work. Again, I really hope that day never comes. Knock on wood. I hope the only time I'm working at night is when I have a 6 to 8 shift. And I hope that doesn't happen either. I actually don't mind my 2-hour shifts. I feel bad because my parents would take me, but it's like, you're the one who pushed for it. You know what? They're the ones that pushed me to get a job. My dad especially. If anything, he should be taking me. Like, he literally, after a while, because I have like 1,000 disabilities. I may or may not link, may not, meaning I might forget, to link that video when I talk about my disabilities. I'm very open about them. I don't give a shit. Like, who cares? Ooh, people know I have a disability. They're gonna use that against me. But, I don't know. But the first one up is issue 2 of Spider's Shadow. I don't know if I went over this already. But this is the What If series, and what I really like is that they're gonna go beyond just the issue 1. Because for the longest time, for the longest time, I always do that. Like, whenever I think of like a word, like to a song, like not a word, not a single word, obviously, but like for the longest time, I always sing that song. But they're gonna, for the longest time, Marvel would just do one issue for their what ifs, and that was it, one and done. And that really sucked when they did a Punisher. What if Punisher became, or what if Spider-Man became Punisher? And it sucked because it was a damn good premise that they really could. They could have done several miniseries on it, and it probably would have gotten old by the third miniseries. But the second and first have been amazing, especially if they're written by Garth Ennis. Hell, Garth Ennis could do three miniseries, no problem. And they did one issue, and it was it. And that was my biggest gripe, criticism with it, was that it was too damn short. Which is one of the rare exceptions, I would say, make that 100-page giant. Because I like when books are short, because there's one I'm reading. There's one I'm reading right now, actually, that you will be getting a reading recommendation of when I finish all the other books. Frontline. This is 34 pages each book, each issue. It gets long. There's 15 different. It's an anthology series. There's 15 different stories in it. I'll talk more in depth when I do my reading recommendations. Got that nice chill, that nice breeze from outside. The windows opened. And I don't like that summer is coming so fast. I do like that my birthday is coming fast. Mark your calendars, May 27th. I don't, knock on wood, my hope my pact is coming on time. That I don't know which ones they are. It's kind of funny this year. I'm taking so long to go over these books. But I gave my mom my wish list, and again, knock on wood. She didn't say anything about which ones I did, which ones I should put in. No, not which ones specifically, but like, you know. Oh, go over the ones you really want. And knock on wood, I hope she got all of them. Wood. Anyways, the next one is one that I was really skeptical about, but I'm glad I did more research on it. Because the first issue of this story, specifically, has gotten lots of criticism, negative criticism online. And for a damn good reason, too. That was the sole reason why I didn't buy this book for the longest time. Because it has been on sale for, no, I wish it was on sale, like $10 would have been awesome. I would have said, yep, I'll get it. Let's see how I said that. I wouldn't have looked back. But it's been on sale for the longest time. It was on. It's just weird saying on sale, but then you think, oh, it's on sale. It's not $30, it's $10 or what have you. But it's not in stores. There you go. In stores, I would say I don't even know when, but it's been there for a long time. Actually, it was the same week as the Jimmy Olsen one. But the first issue of Lois Lane, Enemy of the People. Well, Lois Lane specifically. Got a lot of criticism online because it was just Trump allegories and it was just Orange Man bad, and they actually, I forget her name, I think it was her, it sounded like a girl's name. They just drew her like you knew it was her. Like if you didn't have to do much research on that person, as long as you saw her name, you know. But as long as you saw her name, as long as you saw a picture of her, you'd automatically say, yep, it's her. Again, I forget her name. But the reason why I buckled down and got it was because, number one, I feel like that wouldn't be a big deal for me. Like, I wouldn't, even if it is on the nose, I wouldn't mind it as much as other people do. I'd still mind it. You know, I hate when I go in my news section on my iPhone to look up what's new, and half the things were Trump. He's not the greatest person, obviously, in my opinion. But it was more just I hate talking about the guy. I hate talking about the guy. I keep seeing articles about the guy. It's kind of like, think of it like how like a show runs for a long time, like The Simpsons or Family Guy, and you keep seeing it on TV. No, actually, a better allegory is go to Cartoon Network, and most likely Teen Titans Go is on there, and they don't give enough time for other shows, and or FXX does Simpsons marathons, and they don't give enough time for they do now, but before they didn't. But they don't give enough time for like Bob's Burgers or Family Guy, which I also own, and Mom and Cake, and they own a lot of shows, and it's kind of like that. How you kind of get sick of it because you keep seeing it. It's not the thing itself, because I love The Simpsons. I love Family Guy. I do not like Teen Titans Go. The original Teen Titans series from 2000, early 2000s is amazing. And every episode I watch of the original Teen Titans makes me hate Teen Titans Go even more because of what they did to the characters. And yes, you're supposed to judge it based on what's um, on its own thing, but you can't do that. You can't. It's when you put the name on it, you're going to judge it by the other things that are associated with that name. So, what was the final reason for why I decided to cave in and keep it, and I'm not going to be returning this book tomorrow? Well, I found out that before all this, I found out that it wouldn't take place. The Trump shit would be done after the 3rd issue, and then it'd be all good. But then the 5th issue is a murder mystery. No, I'm sorry, not a murder mystery. Someone trying to kill me. Let's see who it is. Mystery in general. And then it just like once an Event Leviathan tie-in, I was kind of pissed off when I found that out. But it's just like it's stories, about Lois Lane and her world. It's not just I'm gonna go report on Trump and shit, and I'm gonna go report on this guy. He's just like Trump. Ha ha ha. Aren't we clever? No, it's just that one issue. That was the one that it was the first issue that everyone hated, and pretty much everyone dropped that series. And I hate to say it, but it could go on sale. For the longest time, I was like, why not get this book? Why not? And I caved in, and I got it. And there wasn't a whole lot at Newbury anyways, and I kind of I was going to get myself an Amazon gift card, but guess who's also been using Amazon, and we all use her account. Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to see any of my gifts, even though, it doesn't take a detective to realize, hey, I might just be getting, again, knock on wood, but I might just be getting everything on my list. I hope. I get everything on my list. That's the thing I should have said. I said might. So yeah, it was just there was a whole thing today, and I was like, whole entirety of today was just, why to get that Lois Lane book? Why to get that Lois Lane book? Why to get the other book? Kind of want to keep it. So the other book, there was also like a Preacher. I've been soliciting that from the library and getting it from the library. I have book 2. I didn't have to solicit that one, but book 1 was like, oh my god, I gotta get this series. So I got book 2 immediately after. I think it was actually immediately after. No, it was a little bit after. And then I found out the entire series was on Interloan, so I'm like, yeah, why not get it? But the only reason why I did that was they couldn't afford. I was gonna buy them all. Way back when I got Lock and Key, and then my local Newbury Comics store didn't have book 6 of Preacher, and that was the last one. They had books 3, 4, and 5. They didn't have 6. I was like, damn it, because I could have afforded that. I saved up my money. I was like, let's go. I actually got a big paycheck too. That was when I was working big hours. I was like, let's go, yeah, and then nope. So that's another thing, is that they're gonna have a book 4 is already out, and then book 5 is gonna come out for that other, not for Preacher, but the other series, which will not be named because I'm weird about that. But then I'm like, dude, it's based off a video game. Like, why do you want to get something that's a video game first, then comic? If it's comic first, then video game, that's different. Of course, you could still tell the same stories. But and then there's again, I'm looking at it right now, and just the build of the book is awesome. I flipped through it, and the artwork is pretty damn good. It looks like an interesting book. But I keep reminding myself, you can get it on Interloans. Why not just do that? It actually says VG on here. I wonder if it stands for video game. That's funny. But if I can't get it, if for whatever reason they give me shit, and they're like, no, we're not gonna let you return this book just because your bullshit reason, then I will have to keep it. In which case, I won't mind it, but just kind of like, Andrew loaned it. Andrew loaned it for free. But, I don't know. Because had it been like the Mercenary Sea book, where I got it for free, I wouldn't have cared as much. It's the only reason why I cared about Mercenary Sea and that whole spiel was because of the fact that I could have gotten that Nick Wilson book right then and there. And I was like, why not get that? And then I was like, no, I want to get Mercenary Sea instead. Because everyone loves Mercenary Sea, and it's a critically acclaimed book, and it's a book I'm going to like. I'm doing this on purpose now. I notice I do this a lot when I talk with my hands. I think everyone does that. It's just something I picked up from a lot of people. I wonder if, like, when you watch people do certain things, you pick up on that. Like oh, this guy is talking with his hands. I'm going to pick this up now. What that was the thumbnail. This actually has been the thumbnail before. Thumbnail. YouTube, make this a thumbnail. I think I even said something about the thumbnail, too. I did that because I wonder if that, if you say thumbnail, it makes it a thumbnail. But yeah, a whole long talk about this, and I'm wasting my, oh my god, 16 minutes. Fuck it, I'm gonna upload it as a 16-minute video. I gotta get back to my book, that Civil War book, because it's a pretty long book. I haven't even finished the first of 4 anthology stories in one issue. It's 34 pages each. So yeah, I'll keep Lois Lane. I may just read the first issue, which is not a good idea because that's the worst issue tonight, and then decide whether or not I'll return it. It's also the writing. Like you can make a Trump allegory funny. You can make a Trump allegory interesting. You can make Brendan Rodgers, a YouTuber who is 1,000 times more. Well, to compare him to me is like comparing The Simpsons to Teen Titans Go. One show doesn't try, and one show has been running since 1989, and it's called The Simpsons. Do you get what I was saying? I didn't want to confuse anybody. Yeah, I'm just going. I went from like this is just Justin Talks episode 1. I should do that. I really should, because I like talking about shit, like the randomest shit. Like I can go from talking about The Simpsons to talking about Israel. Then go back to The Simpsons. Then go to Apu and how much I hate that they canceled that character. It's so stupid. There was a point to Apu's character. It wasn't racist at all. I've stopped watching that show because of their recast. So stupid. Why recast a character just because he doesn't fit with today's society? It's like, no, he fits fine with today's society. No one has a problem with it except for a very small amount of people that you idiots at Fox listen to. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, the Lois Lane one I might just read tonight, and then decide if I want to keep it. Because I feel like fuck it at this point, you know. I need to start doing that now. Because I don't know why I get so weird about waiting until my next purchase to read the ones from before. So I had to purchase something before I get into Lois Lane. So now I can read Stargirl. I can't read Witchblade because Witchblade is book 2. And I haven't read book 1 yet. Or gotten into book 1 yet. That one's even stupider. Like, why didn't I do that? I could have saved $25 and then spent on something else. And I would have gotten Stargirl. I would have gotten the other books. I don't know. But Witchblade, I hear it gets good as it goes along. You have to be patient with Witchblade, because it gets much, much better as it goes along. But that is it. I'm going to end this now before I go on another tangent. 19 minutes. Okay, I'm going 1 minute tangent. Hopefully 1 minute. 1 minute. So tomorrow you'll probably get a haul. Well, you're going to get a haul either way. I think what I'm going to do, and I should do, is just delete this video. Now, you know what I'm going to do? If I don't get my replacement of the other book, then, not replacement, then I get a refund, get other books instead, then I will just upload, I'll show the book, and then the Lois Lane book, and then Spider Shadow as one, and then just say, Redux, I guess. Could say, I add something. That's what I did for my January haul, because I did some that were in February by accident, so I was an idiot. I like doing those hauls. So yeah, you'll get comic hauls for a little while, and then you get my birthday haul, and then you'll get the May haul, and then you'll get, and whatever. I really hope I can stream again. I don't um I don't technically mind that I don't get a lot of comments on my on my streams, but it's just I would like them. I mean, I'm not saying you have to. Some of you guys don't like watching that, like watching comic calls. That's perfectly fine. I like doing comic calls, but I like doing streams. My hand thing again. Now I feel like for like um from now on, I'm gonna notice the hand thing more and more now. Um, but yeah, that's it, pretty much. Oh yeah, I do want to do more streams, but it requires me going to my cousin's house and finding the time because I've been working weekends every weekend, 2 days. Actually, I could do it next weekend. Yes, do it next weekend. Yes, okay. I'm gonna text him now. I almost did that bang thing. My friend does it, and I picked it up from her. I wonder if I've ever done that, like without knowing it. It's like my manager. I'm like, thanks for my check. Bang. God. I just wonder how cringy I've been. Well, I know how cringy I've been sometimes. Go on here. Alright, that's it.